And since everybody's here and ready, and here we go.
Recording in progress.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this beautiful evening? The last part of the evening, going into the night, and this is the evening of Monday, July 13th. This is Monday, July 13th, 2026. This is 7/13/26. And this is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. This is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Tonight, we have a couple of new, I like to say new students that will be coming to our class of Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge to get more information on becoming free from the satanic system, this Roman Empire that the world is in. And this is what we're going to go through tonight. We're going to go through the prophecy, the promise, the history, and the day we're in right now, according to scripture, according to prophecy, according to the word of Yah, and according to prophecy, scripture, the word of the Creator, and history. All right. Wanted to say greetings to my sisters, my sister Brenda, and also another part of that group, which is Miss Karen. Like I say, greeting to y'all tonight. This is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Again, this is July 13th, 2026. And we're going to start off with a prayer. After we've done with our prayer, then we're going to get into the information for tonight. Haven't given it a name yet, but I just came up with the idea of to share the information of the prophecy and where we at today in this Roman Empire. All right. And if y'all got pencil and notes, I'd like for y'all to take it. So y'all to have an understanding of what I'm about to walk y'all through. I'm about to walk y'all through prophecy and history and where we at in this day and time. So first we got to start off with, blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep your arm protection around us. Help us in every way that we may come out of this deep sleep you have placed us under because of the ignorance of our ancestors and our forefathers that they brought us to and brought us through, that we are in this third and fourth, which is Greek and Roman Empire that we are in this day and time. We ask you to open our eyes, allow us to see and understand your word, to know your word, that we may be the warriors in your army, awakening the masses of the world today. We bless you, praise you, and thank you, Father, and ask you for forgiveness for us, our ancestors, and our forefathers. We ask you to help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In your holy word we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. Thank you, Father. All right. Now, tonight we're going to go through some history, prophecy, and scripture at this point. So right now we're going to start off with who is in charge of today and who was given the promise of being in charge of today. As I shared a little bit last night, so I'm gonna skim through a little bit to give you an understanding so you can go back and read, because if I go through it everything in its full, we'll be here a full week going through the information. So I'm going to give you everything where you can have a great understanding. And we're going to start off with first, I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to share with you. The Creator gave Abram a promise. Before he changed his name to Abraham, he gave Abram, as I shared last night in Genesis chapter 15, and he told Abram that he's his exceedingly great reward. He told that to Abram before he changed his name to Abraham. He told him his seed would be as the stars of the heavens. and we would be he would be exceedingly. See, if I go there, if I go there, I'm gonna have to read it. And if I get started on it, I'm trying not to do that. But he's gonna be Abraham's exceedingly great reward. So this is Genesis 15. And as I shared in Genesis 15, according to the prophecy of today, what has happened and what has just happened to us. In Genesis 15, he gave a twofold prophecy that a lot of people didn't catch. In Genesis 15, he told, and I shared this last night, so I'm not going to go through this point, but we'll go through certain points as we go through. So I shared this last night in part 1. When you go to Genesis chapter 15, which I shared last night, verse 12 through 14 is the key of the prophecy of today. When I mean the prophecy of the day, in verse 12, when it says, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abram, and a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And then I shared, if you go to Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1, 2, and 3, it showed that their horror of great darkness was in a certain time span. And in that certain time span, it was for a certain people, which is us, which is the children of Israel, who has lost their first state. And we lost because we're Israel. If you're from slave stock, we lost our land, our language, our heritage, and our culture. Actually, we lost our minds. Spiritually, physically, in a sense, and spiritually, because the language we're speaking is not our language. So but all this is according to the Creator's word, because the Creator said that he was going to do these things. He said that if we didn't keep the law, if we didn't keep his commandments and his laws, that we would be, he would put us in the land that we know not. There we would serve other gods, other deities, where of wood and stone, gods our fathers haven't known, where he would not show us favor. That happened to us. And in 15, it talked about us. He said, a horror of great darkness fell upon us. That's in Isaiah 61, 2, and 3. And that horror of great darkness fell on us as a people. And then it went on to in 15, where it said, he told Abram, he said, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. That 400 years from 1619 to 2019, 400 years exact. Because when it was originally in Egypt, as it states in verse 17, when it said in verse 16 and 17, I'm going to read that to you real quick. This is when they first went to Egypt. I'm going to bring you back to today. So the second part, where they said the first should be last and last should be first. The first prophecy of the 400 years is in today, which is last. The second part of the prophecy came first. No different than I'm sharing with you, the same with the blessing for Israel, which was the first that got bliss. He's going to get the blessing last, which is the inheritance. The one who got the blessing last ended up getting his blessing first, So that happened in both ways. But again, over here in verse, I'm going to give you when they went into Egypt first. I'm glad you have an understanding. And this is verse 16. It says 15, 16, and 17. I'm just going to read that for you right quick. When they went into Egypt before. Because remember, they came out in 430 years. It wasn't 400 years. That was 400. The Creator is precise in what he do and what he say. So 15 states, because this is the second prophecy. Or should I say, this is when they first went in, but this is the second part, because this is a two-part prophecy, and this is the second part. 15 states, and thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, meaning he's going to pass in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. He told Abram, you're going to be good and old when you be buried. So you're going to live a good life, long life, right? 16, but in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again, in the land where he is, because the Creator has given him that land, as you read on throughout the rest of this point, from 15 on through to the end. It says, but in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. That's in the fourth generation. Now, the fourth generation, first it was Abraham, first generation. Then you had Isaac, which is the next generation. Then you had Esau and Jacob, which is in the third generation. Then you had the children of Israel, which is the 12 tribes. That's the fourth generation. When they grew in Egypt, when they came down in the time of Joseph, Joseph saved everybody in the areas. I'm going to say that. And this is where Israel grew in Egypt. And that's when they came from Egypt in the fourth generation and came out to the land. All right. That was when the children of Israel, they grew and they came out into the land after the 430 years. Now, that was when they first went into Egypt. This is talking about today, the 400 years. As we said, Abram went to sleep. He woke up. He went through a horror, great darkness. 13 says, and he said unto Abram, no other surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. This land that we're on, like I shared last night, the earth is actually ours because that's the blessing that he gave to Abram. The Creator is his exceedingly and great reward, which you'll find in the beginning of chapter 15. And he given Israel the earth. The whole earth is ours. When he expanded our borders is when he kicked us out the land. That's when he expanded Israel's borders, if you understand prophecy and the scriptures. Our borders was expanded then because Israel is going to be a kingdom of priests. The kingdom is the earth. And I'm going to show you by the time we get to Daniel how we are going to be in power and in control until the time and beyond the time of the end. So, but right now, just to explain to you, these are some tamarind. But this is the land, right? Let's just say this is the dirt in the land that we tilled and everything on. But what has happened, the Roman society or the society that's on the earth now has taken over the land by putting homes, streets, buildings, blocks, and the jurisdiction that they have on top of the land. By them being on top of the land, they've taken over the whole earth. This is when they have gained the dominion. They meaning Esau. This is when I'm bringing you from this point up to that point now. So this right here is the prophecy of what was going to happen in the 400 years. We just come out of 400 years from 1619 to 2019, as again in verse 13, Genesis 15 and 13 says, and he said unto Abram, no other surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, which is work for them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. One way we serving them is because I will say this, I'm going to let you know this is something in the private, something that we teach, but I will give you this information because this is something that people didn't know, but I'm going to let y'all know. I'm going to give you a spoiler. When you go get a job, this is how you serve them. Since I'm breaking scripture down, so I'm giving it to you as we go. When you go get a job, when you on your application, when you give them your signature, you just gave them access to your account by giving them your signature. Because anything you put your signature is already paid for. When you put your signature, that's why they always want you to sign this, sign that, sign this, and sign that, so you can approve of them going into your account that a lot of people don't know about. I'm just going to leave it right there for the moment. Y'all two should know, I think y'all are very well aware of some of the information. But when you sign your signature, you have given them the access to your account, which is your Sesgate trust account. Also, when you give them your social security number, you just gave them access to the account. So when you go get a job, when you're getting paid from the job that you're at, you're actually getting paid from your own account. A lot of people don't know that. So that's just a little spoiler, just a little bit that we're going to share at this point in time. But this is how Angel served them. You're serving the system by giving them information out of your account, and you don't even know it. But you're serving them by working for them. It says, shall be a stranger in the land that is not there, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. That 400 years from 1619 to 2019. And as I shared last night, which I'm not going to do today because I have to go through it if I read it. When it says, arise, shine in 60 and 1, Isaiah 60 and 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come. When it says arise, shine, shine is a certain people. We are shine. They used to call us that in the Jim Crow days and back in the time of slavery and the time that we've been afflicted. They'll come and rub their head and stuff like rub our little children's heads. Come on, give me some luck and rub across their head, especially in the South. They should know that in the South. If a lot of people don't know about it, that's why it says arise, shine. It doesn't say arise and shine. It says arise, shine. Talking about arise a certain people in a certain time. And we are in that time, the 400 years. So from 1619 to 2019 is what this is talking about. That was and afflict them 400 years. That was the 400 years. 14. And also that nation that was in charge was the Roman Empire. I might as well give you this. Exodus chapter 20. Might as well explain it. If I'm explaining it, might as well explain it to you right to show you that the Creator's seen everything. A lot of people can't see and understand. The Creator's seen everything day one. Genesis 1:1, he's seen everything from Genesis to Revelations and beyond. The Father seen everything then. And he didn't start creating until day 2. But Genesis 1:1, the Creator, when he said God created the heaven and the earth, he's seen everything right then. I'm not going to go through that because I have to break that down as well. I'm trying to go and get through this history point right here at this point in time. But I can go through that at a later time if anybody wants me to go through that, because this is going to be a lot that I'm going to lay down on you at this point. And I can break that Genesis 1 through 5 down because that was the blueprint. That was the blueprint before he started creating in day 2. All right. So the second commandment, we'll start at 20 and 1 says, look who's speaking. And God spake, and Yah spake. I say Yah, according to Psalm 68 and 4. And Yah spake all these words, saying, I am Yah thy father, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Don't forget, the Creator is speaking this. Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other deities, which is gods, before me. And a lot of people don't know, when you say when you pray into the Creator, sinner's prayer, whatever type of prayer, and when you say in Jesus' name, in Emmanuel's name, in Yeshua's name, in Prophet Muhammad's name, you just put a God right there with the Creator, because you said in the name of whoever that deity was. You said in that deity's name, not realizing it, but this is what happens. So that's the first commandment. He said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. The second commandment is the reason why I came here on this point right here, to show you that the Roman Empire was that nation. I'm going to break it down from here. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee first any graven image. Then there's a conjunction. Any graven image or any likeness of anything. That means no thing. In heaven above, or in the water under, or let me say it again, anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, that's physically, mentally, or spiritually. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah thy father, am a jealous father, and here go your key, visiting the iniquity, the ignorance of the fathers, I like to say of the parents in this day and time, whoever the parents may be, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, because the fathers, or shall I say the parents, is who teach the children. When you're teaching the children, the children is learning from you or the institutions you send them to. So you're teaching the children whatever society you're in at that time. And we're in the Roman Empire right now, but let me finish up. Visiting the iniquity of the Parents, it says fathers, but I like to say parents upon the children unto the third, which is the Greeks. I'm going to prove that to you in a few moments. The third, there we go. And the fourth, which is the Romans. The third generation and the fourth generation of them that hate me. The reason why I say the Greeks and the Romans hate the Creator is because they changed everything in the earth. They changed time, they changed laws, they changed statutes. They went from the laws to legal, and this is how they're treating the people. A lot of us don't know it. A lot of people don't know it, but a lot of us do. And we're growing into this knowledge and information. All right. So it says, visiting the iniquity, the ignorance of the father, ignorance or sin, how you want to put it, of the fathers upon the children unto the third, which is the Greeks, and the fourth, which is the Roman generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy, which is grace, unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Right? The Creator said that. So now we have to have understanding of what's being said. And then go to the third commandment, thou shalt not take the name, which is the law of Yah thy Father in vain. For Yah would not hold him guiltless that taketh his name, which is his law, in vain, because his law is him. We represent the law, and by representing the law, we keep the law, and we're supposed to be an example to other nations by keeping the law. All right. So I just wanted to share that in Exodus right then. So when it says in verse 14, and also that nation, that nation is the Roman Empire, which I'm about to share with you as well. Also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And he judged the nation of Rome in 2020. That's why the 400 years were from 1619 to 2019. Then he said, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And if you look in Exodus chapter 14, verse 12 through 23, I think we read out of 21 and 22, I believe, or 20 and 21, when it showed the four sore judgments of the Creator. The judgments of the Creator is the noisome beast, the sword, which is war, the famine, and the pestilence. The pestilence is sickness, is diseases and sicknesses and things like that. That's the pestilence. That's what we had in 2020. That was the judgment, right? Then it says, and afterwards, it said, and afterwards, it said, and after these things, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. We're in the position of the great substance by getting into our private office. This is why we have introduction to sovereign class of knowledge to get into your private office. When you get in your private office, now you can start to handle your affairs. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that information, because I'm trying to keep it private. All right. But I'm giving you an understanding of the way things has been laid out according to scriptures and according to where we are today. All right. So that's the prophecy to Abram twice. After that is when it goes down and tell him that he's going but thou shalt come hither again for the iniquity of the no, he said but in the fourth generation they shall come hither again. That's the second part of the prophecy. That's when they came there and grew in Egypt, and that's when they left in Egypt and then came into the land. But the 400 years is where we at and where we just come out of and where we at in this day and time. So now let's get to the nitty-gritty of understanding where we at. Now let's get to Genesis chapter 25. Chapter 25. Genesis chapter 25. This is the beginning of the prophecy of Esau and Jacob before they even came out the womb. All right. Genesis chapter 25, we're going to start at 21. It says, and Isaac entreated Yah for his wife because she was barren. She couldn't have children. She was barren. And Yah was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So he entreated the Creator. He searched the Creator, asked the Creator about his wife getting pregnant. The Creator allowed her to get pregnant. and then she conceived. Now, the key is in 22. And the children struggled together within her. So you know this was a process of time. She ain't just get pregnant and then this happened. It had to go through a few months. It had to be about 6, 7, maybe 5, 6, 7 months. Then the children is struggling within her. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, if it be of the Father, why am I thus? And she went to, now it said, and she went to inquire of Yah. And it say they, it says she went to inquire. Verse 23. And Yah said unto her, not them, but unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And then look at what it says. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. The man of war is stronger. Even though we are physically stronger when it comes to certain situations, but when it comes to mentally and the way they think, they're men of war. They're stronger because right now, if the system and us try to stand up, who y'all actually think gonna win? Honestly, not trying to say, well, I'm black and all. No. If you think of them, they stick together and they're the one who got, even though the police force and all they have them to come together and they know how to round up people and do things strategically. So I'm just honest. I'm just honest and I'm factual. So I have to accept they're stronger than us when it comes to forces. But when it comes to intellectually or spiritually, we're stronger in many different ways. But as a group, they're stronger. And you just have to admit it. Some people don't want to stand on it, but you have to be, truth is the truth and accepting the truth is the facts. And that's just it. Okay. And it says, and Yah said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder, now here we go, and the elder shall serve the younger in the fullness thereof. Right now, we have served the elder at this point, but we're gonna get to that for understanding. Then it says, and when her days to be fulfilled, to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And this is a key that a lot of people should pay attention to. Because this in Revelation 12, this is going to be your key for Revelation 12 when we get there. It says, and the first came out red. That's your key point right there. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, right? And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80, which was 60 years old when she bare him. All right. So as we can see, verse 27, it says, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, which we do. We dwell in tents. We stay in the house. We sit down, we chill out with our families and stuff, but Esau is a hunter. He liked to get out there and he hunt. He liked to conquer and do all these different things. Understand the situation. So, Isaac loved Esau because of his venison, and Rebekah loved Jacob. And then it goes over here about the birthright. The birthright, verse 29 through 34, talks about when, and I don't want to read it because it'll take up a little time, but we know about the birthright. Esau came in and he was hungry, so he wanted the pottage, the red pottage, which was lentils. And Jacob told him, well, sell me your birthright and you can have it. Jacob said it. He did it. He didn't have to do it. Like my teacher back in the day used to tell us when we used to go through scripture. He could have went out there and asked his mother for some food. He could have did anything else, but he wanted that red pottage. Then he sold his birthright. When you do stuff in those days, he was sealed to it. Today, people don't honor an oath. They don't honor things today. They'll say something and then go back on it just like that. But in these days, your oath was honored. What came out your mouth, you held to it. So now, that was the birthright. Now we're going to come to understand in Genesis 27, the blessing was the birthright. A lot of people never thought about it because the blessing was the end all be all of everything, which is the dominion of the earth. That blessing was the birthright. Nothing is more important than the dominion of the earth. What else can you get in having if you got dominion of the earth, you have dominion of everything. Which the Creator has given us the dominion in this day and time because we are the chosen of the Creator. Israel, which was anointed in the wilderness. That's why he said, Israel, only you have I known. I have known no other nation. Amos 3:2. Check that out when you get time. But now let's go over here to Genesis chapter 27. Genesis 27, we ain't gonna go through I'm gonna take you through the key points. We know that in Genesis 27, you can go back and read for yourself, that Rebekah overheard her husband, who was blind at the time. His sight was gone. And like we say, if we don't understand things, we got to understand things happen for a purpose. And I asked the question last night. How many people went blind back in those days? We barely know any other people that went blind that's in the scriptures, that went blind in those days. So Isaac ended up going blind for a purpose. That's my point of view. And that purpose was so that he didn't see Jacob. There's a purpose behind everything. So he went blind. He told Esau, go make me that venison so I can bless you before I die. Because he's the oldest, he's supposed to get the birthright. He didn't know about what was told to Rebekah. Rebekah kept it to herself. So he was going to give Esau the birthright, and he loved him because of his venison. So what happened was Rebekah overheard it. She told Jacob, go out there and give me 2 kids and bring them in. She dressed them or undressed them and everything, put stuff on him like Esau, put dirty clothes on him like Esau smelly clothes rather, and then told him to go in and give his father venison. And Jacob even said, where it said that right over here? Verse 12 and 13 says, my father, 11, 12, and 13. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. Verse 12. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. See, he even knew that what was said back then is solid. Jacob even knew it. 13. But see, his mother already knew what was up because the Creator already told her when they was in the womb. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse. See, upon me be thy curse, my son. Excuse me. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. And this is when everything started. Now we're going to get to where he was in here. We're going to do 27, 28, and 29, going into the blessing and having an understanding of he got his blessing first, but he's going to obtain it last. The first should be last and the last should be first. Here we go. 27. Genesis 27, verse 27. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and he blessed him. And he said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which Yah has blessed. A lot of people looking after money today, but the Creator blessed the field, which Yah has blessed. Verse 28, he go to key, the blessing. Therefore, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. He's going to be stable with plenty of food and plenty of things to drink. 29. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, be the Lord over your brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. This is prophecy of your seed. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Those that bless you will be blessed. Those that curse you, things don't come upon them. My wife, she ain't back on tonight. I would have her do a testimony, but she ain't here. But she can tell you things that happened with her, and she is a woman of Yah. You know what I'm saying? She's a woman of Yah. So now after this, that's when he left, and Scarcely and Esau came in. So I wanted y'all to see a difference right here in verse 36. Now that was the blessing for Israel, or should I say for Jacob and for his seed. But what I want everybody to understand when he say this right, when Esau say this right here, verse 35 and 36, it says, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. And then this is what Esau said. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? This goes to show you about a name. See, people are looking for a specific name, but it's not pertaining to the name. It's pertaining to who it's for and the conduct. He blessed him. He blessed Jacob. Whether if his name was Jacob or Esau or Sam or whoever, the blessing went to Jacob. He said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. This is a lie. He took away my birthright, which he didn't. You sold the birthright. And behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And that blessing, not knowing, was the birthright. Why? It's because he got the dominion of the earth. And he said, has now reserved a blessing for me. Now let's get on down here to verse, I'll read on down. 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. You see that? By the words of his mouth to the Creator. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? I gave him everything. Corn and wine means food and drink. People are too busy looking for money. The Father has given us the earth in order to grow our food from, in order to sustain us. People are so busy killing people out here for money, they have the minds of the Roman Empire. They have the minds of Rome, and they don't even see it. And now, what shall I do now to thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, oh my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and he wept, he cried. Now let me give you the key to the reason why they got the earth first. Isaac gives him his blessing. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. The fatness of the earth he got first. And of the dew of heaven from above. But what did he say over here to Jacob in 28? Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. We're going to get the fatness of the earth later. And I'm looking at the dew of heaven being spiritual. That's my point of view. I can't say it's what it is, but that's my point of view. The fatness, the dew of heaven is the fatness, is more like spiritual. The mindset of spirit. The dew of heaven is like, the dew that comes down and water the gardens or water the plants and stuff. But to me, it's the dew of heaven, meaning the thought pattern and the keeping of the laws and the Creator's will. That's the dew of heaven to me. I could be wrong, but that's what I see. But the point is, over here it says, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. That means later on, he's going to become spiritual. For those who become spiritual, because all of them not. You ain't going to get all Israel. It's only going to be a remnant of Israel that's going to turn back around. And you're going to have a remnant of all other nations, tongues, and people. It ain't going to be everybody. it's going to be those who choose to turn. And this is what we got to realize. Some people think, oh, it's going to be everybody. Everybody that choose to turn. Those people. The other ones is going to fall off. That's going to be on them. So, now your key right here. And the dew from heaven above. Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. This is how Esau lived, which is the system of today. I don't look at him as a skin color, as Caucasian. I don't look at him as that. But we do know that he's the red and hairy man. So that red and hairy man is in the minds of the people. That's why I say it's a mindset. It's spiritual. This is the Roman Empire. It's all spiritual in this day. See, because Jacob, he's spiritual. Because why is Jacob spiritual? Or should I say Israel, should I say? You're going to awaken from Jacob to Israel. A brother shared with me the difference between Jacob meaning supplanter and Israel meaning one who wrestled with God and prevailed with God and man. And we remember that's when he wrestled with the angel, when his name was changed. This is why Jacob is dead Israel. I call the Christians and the quote unquote Hebrew Christians, they're still Jacob. They're dead Israel. Israel, which is Judah, which is the head, and Israel, when you see Judah and Israel, it's talking about Israel as a whole, but Judah is the head. Judah is the prince. You'll find that in Genesis 49. Judah is who everybody's talking about today. Whom thy brethren shall praise. So Judah and Israel, but really both are one, is still Israel spiritually. We are the awoken. Jacob is dead Israel, but still witness to the Creator's word that we went through the things we went through. So Jacob is Israel. Jacob is dead Israel. Israel is the awoken. Judah and Israel is the awoken. And they're turning back to the law. So, again, it says, now Esau, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Everywhere he go, he take over by war. And shall serve thy brother, and he's going to serve us, just like Trump turning everything around right now, in our favor. Trump is turning things in our favor right now, and he's going to serve us, and things is turning back in our favor. As long as we start doing the law, and as long as we get in our private office. Because once you get in your private office, you are over this corporation. I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm trying to keep private without bringing too much private into the public. So I'm going to leave that right there. So then it says, and it shall come to pass. It's going to come to pass. This is prophecy. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, when Esau have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. You know what a yoke is? They put around our necks. But in the sense that of them, they were just in servitude, which is their yoke at that time. And they are the ones in charge today. So this is the prophecy through the blessing that Isaac gave to Esau, what mainly gave to Jacob, then gave to Esau. But Esau got the dominion first. That's part one. All right. Part two, in part one, because we ain't moving to part two yet, as in the part two in the video. But part two now, now we're going to go to, we won't take it too long. Let's go to Daniel. Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2. I'm giving you an understanding of the Roman Empire and how they are in charge of today. But first, I had to take you to and through where the prophecy had to be laid out. First to Abram and told what was going to happen. That 400 years is the last point of it. Everything coming up to that, they had to take over the earth first, which is what I'm about to share with you now in Daniel, which is in Daniel chapter 2. I'm going to try to go through this kind of quick because I can be on this baby for a minute. Daniel chapter 2. We're going to start with the interpretation of the dream. We know Daniel chapter 2 is talking about the statue, the terrible statue, right? So we're going to start over here, 31. We're going to start at 31, take 31 on down, and we're going to bring it all the way down to 40, 31 to 40, all right? And then we're going to go to Daniel chapter 7. So I'm trying to break everything down so you can get a clear understanding. So by the time I bring you to the history, you'll have a better understanding. So I'm taking you step by step, all right? Okay, part 2 right here is right here, and we're in Daniel. Now we're going to hear about the prophecy of the 4 kingdoms. This is prophecy, right? Now, we're going to start at 31. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. Whatever whatever the image was, it was terrible. 32. This image's head was of fine gold, right? The head was of gold. His breast and arms of silver. His breast. There we go. His breast and arms was of silver, right? His belly and thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. We're in the feet today. Today we're in the feet. All right? We're in the feet as of today. 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet. It started at the feet, that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. The stone that was cut out of the mountain without hands is the law. A lot of people don't understand it, and so I had to give it to him. The Father gave it to me. Nobody told me. The Father gave this to me. The law, remember when Moses, even in 10 Commandments, the movie, remember when Moses was up in the mount and the fire was saying, thou shalt not kill. The finger written with the finger of God, given unto Moses. That's the stone. The stone is the law. And watch what it say. Watch what it say. Then was the iron, verse 35, then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together. See, it started at the feet, right where you start at. Start right where when you woke up at. Broken in pieces together, and became like the shaft of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. That means all that stuff gonna be forgotten. All that stuff, the Babylon, Medes and all that stuff gonna be forgotten in time to come. And the stone that here you go. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. That's the law. That law is gonna be in every individual. And how you know? I can give you a reference to it real quick. Isaiah 11. And I think 11 and 12. Isaiah right here. Isaiah 11 and 10. No, 11 and 9. 11 and 9 right here. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, which is the earth. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, of Yah, I would like to say. The earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yah as the waters cover the sea. You know the waters cover the sea. That's how the knowledge of Yah going to be filled all across the earth. We all is going to be going to have the anointing upon us, carrying the word of Yah, because we all going to be keeping the law. And how do I know that? Who's going to carry the law? Exodus chapter 19, verse 5 and 6. I'm just giving you these points for clues, just so y'all have an understanding. Exodus chapter 19, 5 and 6. Let me read that for you real quick. Just so you can understand who in the latter end, right here, in 5 and 6. Exodus 19, verse 5 and 6 says, now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice, indeed, this is the Creator talking, Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, he's telling you first, he's giving you a what they call, he's giving you a condition. All this unconditional stuff, that's man-made talk. It says, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then, see, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me. Listen, above all people, for all the earth is mine. All the earth is the creator, and we already spread out through the whole earth. That's why I say, when he said, when he kicked us out and he expanded our borders, when he did that is when he gave us the earth. We didn't realize because we had to wake up at a certain time, which is in this day and time. We had to awaken to wherever we are. And another pointer, I'm going to give you this another spoiler. Wherever you was born, Israel, you have an inheritance there. That's why I asked y'all early before we got on, is the place where y'all stay, where you were born at. Wherever you were born at, you have an inheritance there. And we're going to give you information in our point of view of what you need to do in our class. So just letting it be known. I'm just giving a little bit of spoilers. I ain't giving y'all the facts and the clues. Just giving y'all little spoilers for what we do over here in the private, in our introduction to sovereign class of knowledge. But for all the earth is mine, verse 6, and ye shall be unto me, unto who? The Creator. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. How? By the law. And this is in 19 before he gave the commandments in chapter 20. These are, check this out. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Israel, you only have I known. That's why we going through the hell that we've been going through. A lot of people don't know it, nor do they understand it. But you got to get into his word, his laws, and his voice from Genesis to Malachi to understand when the Creator is speaking. And I'm giving you that right now to let you understand something about the enemy in a moment. So now let's get back to Daniel. I wanted to give you that. I want to give you Isaiah 11 to understand that in due time, the knowledge of Yah is going to cover the earth as the waters cover the sea through us and then through other people. So now let's get back to Daniel chapter 2. As it says at the end of 35, and the stone, which is the law, that smote the image, became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. Hey, baby, you getting on? I hope you get on if you get time.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was just trying to get that.
I know you're trying to get that paperwork together for the brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, now verse 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Now, this is the other point of the interpretation. He's breaking down the kingdoms now. Verse 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation therefore before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings. Isn't that what it says? A king of kings. Before Yah of heaven has given, for Yah of heaven has given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. This is the first kingdom after the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babylon, the Tower of Babel. They was all together as one people. They wasn't a kingdom. They was one people together after the flood. After the flood, Nimrod was just the leader. He led the people. He decided he wanted to build a tower to the heavens. The angels came down, confounded the language. All the people went their separate ways to spread, because the purpose of that was to fill the earth. That was the purpose of switching their language. Even though they was making a tower to heaven, the purpose was of the people to be on the earth was to spread out through the earth. But he said they are as one. When you go back, read it and study it, that's what it's saying. So He confounded, the angels confounded the language, so now they split off, everybody with their own language, went their own way. The Syrians went their way. The Chaldeans went their way. The Egyptians went their way. The Ethiopians went their way. Everybody went their own way that spoke the same language. And from wherever they went, they grew as nations, wherever they were. But it wasn't until Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, this is where the first kingdom came. That's why it talks about Babylon. That's the first kingdom after the Tower of Babel. So Babylon was the first kingdom, and that's why he said he gave him a kingdom, given a kingdom power and strength and glory. 38. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven has he given into thine hand, has the Creator given into thine hand, and has made thee ruler over them all the places that he gave him rulership over. Thou art this head of gold. Now he's breaking down what the image is. You are the head of gold. 39 is your keys. 39 to 40. 39 says, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee. This was the Medes and the Persians. This was the Medes and the Persians of silver, straight across. The arms and the breast. The Medes and the Persians. Right? Then it says, and after thee shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom. Remember, the third kingdom was the brass of the torso and the thighs, and that's the beginning of the Roman. The both thighs. It says, and after thee shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, and that was the second, and another third kingdom of brass. This right here is the Greeks. Now I'm going to show you how this is the third and fourth generation, the third and fourth empire, the third and fourth of them that hate the Creator. This is your beginning for understanding. Prophecy. Nebuchadnezzar's dream, then prophecy through Daniel's dream. Here we go. And another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over, the key is all the earth. See, they went over all the earth, conquering. And who did it? Alexander the Greek. Alexander the Greek went around conquering till he couldn't conquer anymore. And after he couldn't conquer no more, they relinquished their power, seat, and great authority over to Rome. They relinquished their power over to Rome and gave it to Rome. That's Esau gained the dominion. By thy sword shall thou live. Which is by war shall thou live. Alexander the Greek was an Edomite. And they went through the earth and they conquered everywhere until they took over all 7 continents. So, then it says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. And we know what iron does when it rusts, right? For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise, right? And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes of potter's clay, we are real people. He formed us from the ground. I'm not saying Esau wasn't formed from the ground, but we were formed from the ground. A potter's clay and part of iron. Iron is the system. Iron is the corporation. Iron is the Roman Empire.
Empire?
The empire, yep. That's my son. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of the iron. The strength of the iron. Remember I said Esau was strong? The strength of which is the system. The strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with murky clay, and as the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay. So the kingdom shall be partly strong, which is the system, which is the public, and partly broken, which is the private, separate from the public. And whereas thou sawest the iron mixed with murky clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. They're going to mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed to clay. When you start waking up and we start understanding on how to stand under the legalese compared to the law, they can't go together. They're separate. That's why we don't use the legal stuff. That's why we don't use their stuff. Remember, I was sharing that last night. People try to use the legal stuff to get out, but they're only twisting themselves further into the system. We don't use their stuff. We don't use their stuff to get out. Let me put it like that. We use their stuff to handle our affairs because this is what the system is under. We use some of their stuff to handle our affairs with to control our, I'm just going to say that. But the point is, we don't use their stuff to come out because we have a special, certain things we do. I'm going to leave it like that. All right? So, and whereas thou saw, oh yeah, I got that. Even as iron is not mixed with 44. And in the days of these kings shall the Father of heaven set up a kingdom. See this? Let's check it out. And in the days of these kings, all of them, Babylon, the Medes and the Persian, the Greek and the Roman Empire. And guess when he set up the kingdom starting at? With Abram. Abram, when he told Abram, when you see, look up at the stars. When he told Abram right then and there, your seed would be, I'm your exceedingly great reward. And when he said, told him, look at the stars, your seed gonna be like the stars of heaven. That's when he set it up right then. See, when you study the scripture, you can see. You have to study to know, to understand, to see. And in the days of these kings shall the Father of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And we just got to read when he said that it's going to come over the whole earth. The stone, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. Why? Israel is going to be the head. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. You see that? It shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. I told you, Creator seen everything day one. Genesis 1:1, Creator seen it all. So if he's saying this here, how come the Creator didn't see it in the beginning? The Creator is the Creator. He's seen everything day one. Genesis 1:1. Then it says, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, that's the law that was given to Moses, and that it break into pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver. The clay is for those who are not serious with the Creator's word, but still trying to get this way and move like quote unquote, like Moors. A lot of the Moors and a lot of the Muslims are moving this way, but they ain't really serious about the Creator's law. They're into the religious aspect of it. So you got to get with the law to be fully in tune. Some people want to come in and get the benefits and not take on the Creator's word in the law. They're going to find out the hard way. I'm letting y'all know that now. They're going to find out the hard way because they're going to be thinking that, yeah, we did good, but see, you're going to be good for a moment. If you ain't fully into the way the Creator wants you to go, you're going to fall off. I'm letting y'all know now. The clay, the silver, and the gold, the great Yah have made known to the king. See, what shall come to pass? What shall come to pass hereafter? And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. There we go. Now let's get to Daniel 7. Trying to take you out step by step as we move. Daniel 7. Other part to the dream, which is part 2. Did part 1, which is the beginning. Part 2 is when Esau is taking over, and not taking over, when he's the point of, that was prophecy then, but this is where he's in the point. He's not taking over at this point. This is still prophesying right here in Daniel chapter 7. But I'm gonna give you the key point first. I'm gonna give you two other points. First, let me give you 19. I'm gonna give you the key point. 19 through 22. It states, "Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast." The fourth beast, don't they talk about the mark of the beast? The fourth beast is the fourth kingdom. And we're going to hear that right here. This is prophesying through Daniel. This is still prophecy. "Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse," which is different from all the others, "exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass." Brass is Greek, but teeth was of iron, "which devour, break in pieces, and stamp the residue with his feet." This was the dream. This is the interpretation of it. 20. "And of the 10 horns," which is 10 powers, "that were in his head, and of the other which came up," the other is the United States, "and before whom 3 fell." The 3 is Babylon, Medes and the Persian, and the Greeks. "Even of that horn, even of that horn that had eyes," which is the United States of America. Everywhere they go, they set up camp in these other countries. Y'all know it. What other country you know that came over here and just set up in our country? I mean, not talking about people coming, not citizens. I'm talking about like war, set up and just maintaining things. The only one that have eyes like that is the United States. Let's keep it moving. "Even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, who looked was more stout than his fellows." United States. That's United States. Verse 21. "I beheld, and the same horn made war." This United States, which is New Rome. "I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them," which they did 400 years, remember? Made war with us. 400 years while we're so downtrodden against all these other nations that could come on over here, get in our neighborhoods, make money in our neighborhoods. We got to struggle to try to get, and we got to, like they say, we got to pull by our bootstrap to try to get up. But they can come and they can just live off of our Q-sips when they come over to our land. This land, that is, still our land. 22. "Until the Ancient of Days came," until the Spirit of Yah came back and awaken us up, "and judgment was given to the saints," which is us, "of the Most High," the judgment which is happening in 2020, "to the saints and for us. And the time came," see, and afterwards they shall come out with great substance. "And the time came that the saints possessed it, the kingdom." All right, that's part 2 in this point. In part 2, but that's just the beginning part to come to the point where I want to show you. Now I'm going to start back over again with knowing who the fourth kingdom is, right here in verse 23. "Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom." Telling you flat out. This right here is prophecy, letting you know what's what. The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth. It's telling you what it is. "Which shall be diverse," which shall be different from all kingdoms, "and shall devour the whole earth." You see that? Now, people are in idolatry and don't even realize it. But I'm going to show you that later. "And shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces." And like I always share, how did he tread it down and break it in pieces? Alexander the Great went around conquering, right? Alexander the Greek, shall I say. Now, they gave the name of the continents. We have continents. Inside those continents, we have countries. Inside those countries, we have city and we have states. Inside those city and states, we have rural areas, we have towns, and sometimes we have counties, and we have counties and what was it? Well, districts and counties. And then we also have neighborhoods. In the neighborhoods, we have streets and blocks. And in those blocks and streets, we have homes. And on each home, you have an address. On each home that has an address, you can send something from your house across to the world. Anywhere in the world, to China, Amsterdam, which I've been there before, Germany, Europe, Brazil, Africa, the Netherlands, Greenland, anywhere in the world that you know of that has an address, you can send it there. That's just how deep the Roman Empire is in the world, or is in control over the world. But people don't think that deep. People just look at, oh, that's Rome. We ain't in Rome no more. Don't even realize Rome's still over you today. So, not only at that point, to your household, all the way to when you come out the womb, when they stick a birth certificate and social security card in your mama's face, and have your mama sign you over to the system. She's your informant. She didn't know it though. This is another point of the information, showing you how these connect, showing you how the sovereign information and the slave information connects to this system. I'm showing you the connection. I'm giving you an understanding from the blessing all the way to where we are today and beyond. So when you was born, when you got a birth certificate, that became a bond. Remember when it says in Deuteronomy 28:68? And I always tell people to check out when it says in Deuteronomy 28:68, the last verse. I'm gonna give that to you real quick. Deuteronomy 28:68. You become bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you. Why no man gonna buy you? Is because they buying your bonds and they're selling it throughout the world. Me and my wife, we actually had we actually got a link. I will tell you we heard from Sister Kia Pruitt. She shared this certain link that you can look up and put your social security number in, and you can see thousands. I can always say millions, but I can definitely say thousands of companies using the interest of your social security number. We had it. Yep, we sure had it, but that's gone now. They too many people start finding out the situation, but people, you can see them pulling up. You can put your social security number in there and see. You can go down the line in Ireland, in Germany, in Spain, all over the world. They're using using the information off your social security number. And let me say, 28 verse 68 says, and Yah shall bring thee into Egypt again. Right? And this is a mental Egypt, because remember what he said in the 400 years. Bring us to Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it, which is our land, no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. People try to make this system our friends. This system is not our friend. And I'm going to show you that too. The system is the devil. The system. The Roman Empire is the devil. Satan, that old serpent. I'm going to show you all that. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondsmen. Remember I said that birth certificate is a bond paper? Bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you. Do you know every time you get stopped by the cops, you have to go in to court, and every time you sign, you just gave them access to your account, which is bonds. Do you know when people go to jail, say, I need to get bonded out? When they bond you out, they only take 10%. Where's the other 100% or 90% coming from? It's coming from your account. This is prophecy right here. This is prophecy, and people can't see it because they're too busy looking at this physically. They can't see it spiritually. Ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you. Why? It's because the corporations is buying your stocks and bonds and selling them. Let's keep it moving. Now, let's get down here to 23, as I was saying. 23, I just gave Daniel's back to 7 and 23. I just gave you the understanding on the breakdown. Then I gave you understanding on you being bondsmen and bondswomen. All the way from the continents, all the way down to your household, and you making sales, you sending mail throughout the country and throughout the world, compared to now they're using your QSIPs and the information off your QSIPs. I told you I'm showing you the connection. A lot of people don't get it. So now this is you people being bondsmen and bondswomen. People still thinking slavery, but no, it's the mental now. Spiritually and mentally, besides the physically. So now it says, and 23 again. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse, which is different from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth. People fail to realize that. And shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom, check it out, are 10 kings, which are 10 kingdoms upon the 7 continents. Are 10 kings that shall arise. Now, these 10 kings, I believe, are what people try to talk about, like China. Was it like China, Britain, Russia? I think these are the different kingdoms upon the continents, the main ones that stand out. So this is just a few that I call, but these are the ones I think those 10 kings that they're already talking about. That's who I believe they're speaking of. Then it says, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings, which is 10 kingdoms, that shall arise. Here go the United States. And another shall arise after them. Remember, all of them was here before United States. United States is the other shall arise after them. And he shall be diverse, which is different from the first. United States going to be different from the first Roman Empire. You got old Rome, you got new Rome. United States is new Rome. That's why you got 2 legs. Remember the Medes and the Persians? You got old Rome is 1 leg and new Rome is the other leg. You got 2 legs of iron and then feet of Mary clay. What have feet of clay and iron. And 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them. And he shall be diverse, which is different from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, which is Babylon, Medes, and the Persians. Medes, Persians, and Greeks. 25. And he shall speak. Here you go, your Christianity. This is your Christianity right here. I'm going to show you all this in Revelation 13 in a few moments. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. You see that? We are the saints. We're the ones who was dragged. We the ones who were wore out. We don't know our land, our language, our heritage, nor our culture. This is where the tail of the dragon swooped the third of the stars down to the earth. These are metaphors in Revelations and things like that that people don't know about that I'm going to break down to you to give you a better understanding. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and change laws, as I always say. He changed the beginning of the year from the end of March and beginning of April to the middle of winter, which is January. They did that, right? Not only that, they didn't change the time limit of saying that we start a new day in the middle of the night. The night actually starts a new cycle. When the sun goes down like it is right now, this is really the night before Tuesday, as we call it Tuesday. Or really, this is really the third night of the week. This is the third night. And then we get to the third day, which is Tuesday. We call Tuesday, but that's actually the third day of the week. This is the third night, even before 12 o'clock. Then we have the third day, which is the beginning of the day, which is that at the breaking of the day to noon, noon from the going rising of the sun is the first half of the day. The second half of the day is from the going down of the sun, which is the evening. From the beginning of 12 noon, as the sun goes down, that's the second half of the day. So the evening and the morning is a day. That's a day. The whole light period, the evening and the morning, not the evening till the morning, it's the evening and the morning is a day. And the night is the night. So he shall think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand. See, these things gonna be given into the hands of Esau, or should I say, the Greeks and the Romans. The Greeks and the Romans, it was given into their hand. Why? Because it was his blessing. His blessing that when thou hast had the dominion and shall break the yoke of thy brother off thy neck. It's given into his hand to do these things. Why? Because of that blessing from Isaac. And think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time, the Greeks, and times, the Romans, and the dividing of time, which is the 400 years. The 400 years is the dividing of times. And then it said, verse 26, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. Whose dominion? The Roman dominion, the dominion of Rome. They shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it until the end. As we awaken, we are destroying the Roman Empire. As we awaken, we're showing the real truth and the true facts. We have to get away from the ways of the world and start handling things as the Creator has had us. Like I'm sharing with you right now. When does the new day start? At the beginning of the breaking of day. When does the new cycle start? When the sun goes down, not at 12 midnight, when the sun goes down, and then when the sun goes down, we started from the darkness, 12 hours of darkness, not 6. 12 hours of darkness accordingly. And then when the breaking of day, we have a quote unquote 12 hours of light. 24 hours. Have darkness, have light. 27, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given unto the people of the saints, which is Israel. And those other nations, tongues, and people who's keeping the way as well. Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. All this is prophecy before it even comes about. It's prophesied. It's telling about what was going to happen, what was planned to happen, and it's right here in the book. You can see it. Now, we get ready to go to who has taken over. Let me give you a little bit in chapter 8. But this right here, we go to 8, and we'll start over here in the same point, 23. All right? We'll start at 22 and 23. Daniel chapter 8, 22 and 23. Now, that being broken, where 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. Right? In the latter time, which is in the time we're in now, of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full. Guess who the transgressors are? We are the transgressors. We transgress against the Creator's law, against his word, and against his saying. That's why we're in the position we're in. Israel is the transgressors. And look what happened in this day and time. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance, a kingdom of fierce countenance. That kingdom is the Roman Empire, right? which is New Rome. And I'm going to show you how. A kingdom when the transgressor shall come to the fore, a king of fear countenance and understanding dark senses shall stand up. Do y'all know when y'all go to court? These are dark sentences that people don't know about. Do you know when you go to court and the judge asks you, do you understand the charges that's being held against you? And you say, yes, sir. Yes, sir, I understand. You don't know. You just giving them yourself to their jurisdiction. When you say I understand, you just stood under the judge and under their whole policy and under their foot. When you say you understand, you just gave yourself over to them. When I was going to court, no, I don't understand. I don't understand nothing you talking about. I don't agree. I don't understand because all this is fraudulent. I stood my ground. I had to learn it, but I stood it before I come into my private office. But this is the dark sentences that it's talking about. This is the Roman Empire. This is directly telling you what's going on today in Scripture. Daniel saw all this before it came to pass. Only those who will seek the Creator and the Creator will anoint them or give them the insight of His word, they can see it. But people like myself is supposed to be doing, as he said, the whole earth. So those who have been anointed or has had the information, and yes, I was anointed. Just to let y'all know, I was anointed 3 times, and I feel my anointing every so often. So yes, I'm one of the 144,000. I don't go around bragging about it, but I will say, yes, I am. So just to let you know, I was anointed, and I have been anointed to do what I'm doing. So people can accept it or reject it, but thank the Father for what I've come to know and to share for those who want it. So again, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark senses shall stand up. 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. It was the Creator that allowed him to have it. Right? And he shall destroy, check this out, and he shall destroy wonderfully. Tell me that Esau, or should I say the system now, because it's not just Esau in general, it's the system of Esau, the blessing of Esau. He destroyed wonderfully with tanks, planes, armies, navies, Air Force, Marines. His concept is war, and war, I ain't gonna say only, but mostly. All he do is go and conquer everywhere he go. And he's set up wherever he's at. That's Esau. Or should I just convert from Esau to the Roman Empire? And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice. See, don't they practice? Don't when they go out there, they bayonets and they used to do bayonets. Now they practice shooting. They shooting. They got guns up the wazoo. All kind of guns. And who loves guns more than the Caucasian man? I don't like saying white. I don't like saying black. I say melanated because we are majority of the world is melanated. Caucasians, we recognize Caucasians to be the light-skinned people. So I just say Caucasians, not trying to be rude or anything. I just say they Caucasians, you know. So and his power shall be mighty, verse 24, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice. Yep, what we were just saying. He gonna prosper and he practice in his prosperity, in the things he do. And shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. That was us. 400 years. Not just 400 years, but coming into this, and then in the 400 years. 25. And through his policy, police officer, no, police officers are really policy officers. But not only that, through all the paperwork and stuff they're doing, church and state. Let me break that down to you real quick. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna break that down to you, and I'm gonna finish 8. Then we're gonna do part 2. All right. So let me break that down to you about church and state, and then we're gonna do part 2. We're gonna finish this up in 25, 26. Well, no, this Daniel chapter 8. We're gonna finish that up. Then we're gonna go to part 2, and then I'm gonna break down to you the history, where your church and state come from, mainly your church, your image, I'm gonna break that down. I'm gonna give it to you in a few moments. But it says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, 24. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people, which are us. And through his policy also he shall call craft to prosper in his hand. That's what the Roman system does. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, thinking he the best thing on earth. We the mightiest country on earth. And by peace shall destroy many. By peace. Oh, we're going to come and do this, but really I already think about taking whatever he can from you. When I was coming up, I can go and shovel snow, make some money. I can go and rake grass, make some money. I can go cut lawns, make some money. Now, in this policy, you got to get a license for almost all the stuff we used to do for free. I mean, when I say for free, we used to just go out and just make it without even going to get a license in order to be a contractor, in order to be a landscaper, or all this other stuff to make our own jobs. They want to get in your pocket. They can't with me no more. Not with me. That's what you get when you get into your private office, when you start to stand as a man and as a woman. This is what we're helping people get to. So, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, which is Israel. We are prince under our king, which is the Almighty. The Almighty is the king. Israel is the prince. We are prince and princesses under the Creator. But he shall be broken without hand. Guess how he gonna be broken without hand? By what I'm doing right now. That's why we don't have to stand up and fight against them with armies, navies. We don't have to fight. We just gonna tell the truth. We gonna stand in truth. We're gonna stand in the law. Did not we just read in Daniel chapter 2 when he said the stone that was without hand is gonna consume and take over the whole earth? The stone without hand is the law. And the law is gonna be within you. Not religion, not someone else. The way of life is the law. And you'll find them once you study them and understand them. It's right here in the book. The first 5 books and the law and the prophets that's why it's called the Torah and the Tanakh. The Torah is the law, the Tanakh is the prophets. When the Creator spoke to the prophet and the prophet come back and say, thus saith Yah, thus saith the Lord, it shall come to pass. This is the Creator's talking through his ambassadors. When you are coming in the name of the Creator, you are an ambassador of the Creator, just like the Creator talking to you. No different than President Trump sent Vic or whoever somewhere to go speak for him. It's like Trump being there. They're coming in the name of Trump. No different if someone coming in the Creator's name. They're coming in the Creator's name. That's why a lot of time when people saw a lot of the prophets or angels and stuff, no one can see the Creator face to face and live. When you talk to his ambassadors, you're talking to his representatives, you're talking to his angels, you're talking to his people. And those people are ambassadors of the Creator. And that's like when you're talking to them, you're talking to the Creator. So when they say, I saw the Creator face to face, you're talking to the Creator. When you talk to the people talking through the Creator's word. When the Creator speaks to his prophet or speaking to whoever he's talking to you looking at the Creator right then and there. Not the Creator himself, Creator, to bow to the man. You're looking at no different than the vessel right here. This is water in the vessel. But I'm drinking the water. But the vessel is carrying the water, which is the spirit. This is the spirit in here. And all I'm doing is sharing the spirit with you through the word. That's all I'm doing. Sharing the spirit. I'm just a vessel carrying the spirit, carrying the water. And if we start understanding things correctly, we can see things clearly. So, now, before I go, let me just give you this church and state real quick because, but he shall be broken without hand. And then it goes 26 and 27 says, and the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true, which I've been sharing for the longest. The evening and the morning is a day, which is the light period, which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days, in the days we're in right now. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days. Afterward, I rose and did the king's business. And I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. Because it wasn't for Daniel and none didn't understand at that time, because they can't see what's going on in this day and time, because the iron is different and diverse than it was back then. United States wasn't even up and doing the things that the United States is doing today compared to what they were doing back then. It's totally different. So Daniel couldn't understand it, but he told the story. The Father had to give someone with the intellect to understand the story to give it to you, to see what Daniel saw, to give you an understanding of what was prophesied or what's going on today. Now, next move, we just read all this. Now we're going to go into the prophecy of church and state coming back. But before we do that, I just want to share with you the difference between a citizen and a sovereign. Before we go to part 2, the difference between a citizen and a sovereign. A citizen is a slave, a sovereign is free. People are scared of that because the system has made people scared of being sovereign, because the people that was doing and going through that system and that situation, they never graduated. They never got to the ending point. They got, just like if you go to school, you have to go from the first kindergarten to the 12th grade. You got to get through the 12th grade, not to the 12th grade, but through the 12th grade to graduate. So we have the foundation of the 12th grade where we at. But just understanding at this point, a citizen is a ward of the state. And let me give you understanding between the citizen and let me give you understanding between the warden of the state and the warden in the prison. A warden is the head nigga in charge of the HNIC over a prison, right? This is the warden. He's the head, the HNIC over the prison. And he's over the prisoners in prison. So the warden is over the prisoner, and he's also over the guards. The guards oversee the prisoners, but the guards also see to the warden. The warden is over the guards and he's over the prisoners. Now let's go into society. The warden of the state is nothing but paperwork. It's not about paperwork, legalese, and they say laws, but legalese and codes and acts and stuff like that. That's all the warden of the state really is, paperwork. But the ward of the state is actually over the citizens, because what you need an ID, birth certificate, social security card, ID card, and everything else you need in order to work under the system. So the system is the ward, which is the ward over the citizens. But the system is also over the ones who do the paperwork, which is who? The cops, the lawyers, the judges, the prosecutors, the attorneys, and everybody in between, the clerks and everybody else, doing the paperwork for what? The system. This is the system. The system ain't nothing but paperwork. There's some people beyond, I didn't say beyond Congress and all that, because all them, everything is done by paperwork. That's why I say the pen is mightier than the sword. But yet still, the ward of the state is over the citizens and they over the guards, which is the cops and everybody else I just named. But let's look over here at a sovereign. A sovereign is free. A sovereign lives under the conduct and the laws of Yah, or the Almighty. This is where you stand on your principles. This is freedom. And once you see that, you're going to know you're free by the things that's happening. Now there's stages for that as well. On your foundations, you ain't got to worry about it, just like your chakras. The red chakra is the bottom. It's the root chakra. That's your foundation. Once you get past your foundation, hey, you ready. As long as you get here on your foundation, you can start building your empire. Understanding, knowing what to do and how to do. And it's a lot easier than the legalese. So I just wanted to leave that with you right quick for the end of part 1. And other than that, I just like to say that I am that Mikhael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikhael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikhael is really me. And right now, y'all, when I'm thinking about calling this tonight, I think I might call this the 4 steps to freedom. Or, yeah, I might call this the 4. This first time I'm saying it like this, but since I named and numbered the way I did, the 4 steps to freedom. First one was the beginning, Abram. The second one is the prophecy of the 4 kingdoms and Rome, mainly the 4 kingdoms first, going into Rome. Number 3 is going to be the deception. Yeah, the deception of church. I should say church and state, but mainly the deception of church. But I'm not going to name them all like that. This is just my concept. That's what we're going to get into, the deception of church. That's coming next, beginning of part 2. And then the 4th part is this deception of church. And the 4th part, the revealing of the Roman Empire of today. That's what I'm going to do in part 2. We're already doing it, but 3 and 4 coming next. So other than that, I'm going to pause you Zoom first. Let's see if anybody came in on YouTube, Facebook. Okay, nobody on Facebook. On Instagram, we had a Bossette 124. Robert, my brother Robert Craig came in for a moment, and we got Bernard. Bernard, I ain't seen my brother Bernard in a minute. They came in over on Instagram. And over here, we had about 2 people coming in and out over here on YouTube itself, YouTube Live. But other than that, I like to thank my sisters, my new sisters of the family, my sister Karen, my sister. I wish you guys. I'm bad with names. Brenda, thank you. I'm thinking Bernadette. All the other names come to my mind. Brenda, I'm glad you made it again. I'm glad you was here last night. I hope you got a little bit more information. I got something about I'm about to lay some stuff down to you now in part 2. But Karen and Brenda, I'm thanking y'all for being here on the Zoom to see for yourself and go. I'm going to break some stuff down to y'all. Y'all may have never heard of this, but it's going to shock you. I'm going to break it down to you. Huh?
I already heard a lot of things I haven't heard of.
Okay.
I like the way you bring it to today, though. It just makes sense.
I have to do that. That's
the paperwork and court and going that and legalese and color of law and all that stuff.
You can see it in the scriptures, can't you?
Yeah. Men being sold for fun and
not slavery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I knew that the way that people are thinking that we're going in slavery like we did like in
That's not it.
It's laboring in our mind.
There you go. I'll be trying to share to people, but you know what? People are they so taboo with what they have been taught by the Roman Empire, they can't see the truth. Well, I'm just glad you're here to see because you about to really get blown away in a few moments. But other than that, I'm gonna pause y'all real quick. I'm gonna pause y'all because this is my full version. So I'm just gonna pause you, but I'm gonna say bye to everybody else and make a part 2 for them. But I'm gonna call this the four. What did I say? I'm gonna call it the
4 steps to.
The 4 step. I didn't say freedom, did I? The 4 steps to. I want to call it the 4 steps to. I'm just going the 4 steps to consciousness. That sounds pretty good. The 4 steps to consciousness, or the 4 steps to. Oh man, I want to make sure whatever is gonna come out, I'm gonna have it before by the time we're done. But other than that, I'm gonna pause y'all and we'll be right back. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. All righty. Yeah, you good, baby?
Recording stop.
All right. Now for Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, this is in the part 1. And if you'd like to connect with us on Zoom, you're welcome to text me your name, and your name and your email. If you text me your name and your email at 770-572-5315. Again, that's 770-572-5315. If you text me your information, I will send you an invite in your Zoom. My Zoom invite in your email. And once you accept the invite, it's gonna come up in your Google Calendar. If you don't have a Google Calendar, go to Play Store and download Google Calendar. So when you download your Google Calendar, it'll come up. And once it comes up, you should have all the different dates. Okay, she fell off for a moment. There we go. It should have all your dates in there, in your Google Calendar. All your dates should be in there of the dates I'm about to share with you. So if you don't forget, you can text me your name and your email at 770-572-5315. And you can also email me your name, number, and email. And also, don't forget, in each one say you'd like to know more information about the Zoom, and you like to know more information about the Zoom and the alkaline water and the alkaline teas, and I've seen that information as well. But other than that, text me or email me your name, number, and email at lkhyym@gmail.com. What you make, baby?
Doing mushroom pasta.
Oh, it smells good. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. All right. So don't forget, you can connect with me there, and I will send you an invite through your email, and you will accept the invite, and it will come up in your Google Calendar. That way you have our information in your email, and you'll always have the notifications and information in your calendar. Now, the platforms that we have, or the Zooms that we have that you'll be able to come back in on, we're here. I like to start off with every last Tuesday of the month with Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge, because that's our private class. What I mean by private is on Zoom only. We don't have that on the public, meaning we don't have it on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. We're on Zoom only at this. And like I said, that's every last Tuesday of the month at this point in time. And it's at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and is at 9 p.m. Eastern. 7:30 a.m. is for those out of the country, or maybe like the ones in the UK. And also at 9 p.m. Eastern for those who get off work late or early, and then they can get in on the class at that time. And right now is every last Tuesday of the month. Unless more people come in and it's more serious, then we'll start back doing it more often as people start to get in on the classes. But until then, that's Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge every last Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern or at 9 p.m. Eastern. Then we're here on the Sabbath. We're on the Sabbath day, which people call Saturday, at 12 p.m. noon, and that's called Assembly of the Righteous. That's when the righteous come together to assemble, and we go through the Creator's Word, through the law, and speak on the law, just as I'm doing some of the information here. And we go through the law and the Word and see that, and we break down information then, as in today, how it resonate and agree on both issues, on the same issue. So that's Assembly of the Righteous on the Sabbath at 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. Then we're here on, like last night, we're here on Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. On Sunday nights, or the night after Sunday, I like to say, we have open conversation where you can ask questions, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, you can bring to the table, you can do that, and we'll talk about anything across the board, and we'll try to share the truth of the information on Sunday nights. So that's open conversation, which is Fight Fire with Truth, on Sunday nights, or the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Then we're here on the night after Monday, which is tonight. We're here in Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. There's Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, and wherever the Father used me as a vessel to bring out, I'll do that, and as we come through, and it come whatever the Father used me for, and I'm a vessel. I'm the glass carrying the Spirit. So what I do, I share the information as we grow in the information as well. So that's Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, the night after Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Then again, on Tuesday, last Tuesday a month, Introduction to Solving Passive Knowledge. So that is for the Zoom, and how to get on the Zoom, as I shared. Again, the number is 770-572-5315. Again, that's 770-572-5315. That's my number. You can text me your name and your email, and I'll see, and say you want to know more about the Zoom, or you like to know about the Zoom and the alkaline water and teas, and I'll accommodate you with the information. And or you can email me your name, number, and email, and say you'd like to know more about the Zoom, or the Zoom and the water and teas and products. And you can text me, you can email me your name, number, email at lkhyym@gmail.com. Again, that's lkhyym@gmail.com. Now, for the public platforms, I'm here on YouTube. I'm on YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm on YouTube, and I'm also on X, formerly known as Twitter, under Juice Pro 33. All together as one word. That's Juice Pro 33, spelled JUICEPRO 33. Again, that's JUICEPRO 33. You can like, subscribe, and share on Juice Pro 33 on YouTube, or you can connect with me on X, formerly known as Twitter, as well, with Juice Pro 33. Also, you can connect with me on Facebook. My Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is spelled MI'(CHAEL) space HARRIS. Again, that's MI'(CHAEL) space HARRIS. That's Mikael Harris on Facebook. Now, if you'd like to connect with me on Instagram and one of my TikToks, my Instagram and one of my TikToks is under Lkhyym _ the juice, which is spelled LKHYYM _ JUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM _THEJUICE. All right. Now, for my other TikTok and my other YouTube, is under Michael the Juice Harris, all together as one word. Michael the Juice Harris, which is spelled MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. It's all together as one word. Again, that's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. All right, that's me, Michael the Juice Harris, for my TikTok and my other YouTube. And you can like, subscribe, and share on there as well. Now, last but not least, you can connect with me on my patreon.com and my rumble.com. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM, patreon.com/LKHYYM, and also rumble.com/LKHYYM. Again, that's rumble.com/LKHYYM. So this is the end of part 1 of 4 steps. I'm just saying the 4 steps of the Roman Empire. The 4 steps of Rome. That's what it is, really. The 4 steps of Rome. I believe it's 4. It might be 5. If I have to change it to 5, but I'm looking at 4 right now. So the 4 steps of Rome. No, the 4 steps revealed. I like that. 4 steps of Rome revealed, but that's too much. 4 steps of Rome revealed. Maybe. I'll see how long it is. But other than that, I thank y'all for y'all time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing. This is the last of this is the end of part 1. We'll be right back with part 2. Thank you. Appreciate, love you, and always. Hey, you gonna say bye to YouTube Live first? There we go. Time. Your listening ear and your seeing eye. Peace. All right.